Before we get into this video, I wanted to share and remind you all that there are still links in the description box below with ways that you can support the Black Lives Matter movement. Of course, it's not something that's being pushed to the forefront anymore because time has passed, but I want you all to know that everybody who is still black is still fighting. So there are ways that you can donate in the description box below. There are petitions that you can sign in the description box below, because we continue to have black bodies that are still being murdered and still being taken with no justice being handed down to those who are taking their lives. Ahmaud Arbery, we still waiting on justice. We have an indictment. We still waiting on justice. George Floyd, we still waiting on justice. Breonna Taylor, we still waiting on justice. And the list goes on and on and on. Those are just the three that are at the forefront of our minds right now. But there are tons of black bodies that have been murdered by police officers where we are still not receiving justice. Their families are not receiving justice. Their spirits and souls are not receiving justice. And they are deserving of that. So don't think that because these videos are coming back to you from black booktubers and black creators across the YouTube verse, that because we're doing more videos, we ain't still fighting. We're still fighting, and you're gonna still see that shit. And there are links in the description box below so that you can help if you still give a fuck to do so. On to the video. And this will be at the front of every video until there becomes a reason for me to have to change it. Hi everybody, it's Tatiana, and today I'm coming to share with you my TBR for August. And August is seriously, I have done more TBRs in 2020 than probably any year since I've been on BookTube. But yeah, this August TBR is strictly ARCs. So this will be my first time participating in ARC August because I have been ARC trifling, and there needs to be an ARC reckoning. So here we go. The majority of these, except for I have one physical book, and I think I have another physical book that's on the way, but I already have an e-arc of it. So I'm going to go ahead and share the list with you now, but we're going to start with the physical book that I got, and that is Black Bottom Saints by Alice Randall. This, I believe, is coming out August 2020, so it's coming out this month. And I was contacted by HarperCollins, asked if I want to thank you, Bree, for giving them my name, Bree from Bree Hill, to see if I wanted to review this. And it is historical fiction about music people. And yeah, I'm excited to get to this. HarperCollins was kind enough to say, we want you to participate in the online promo for this, but it's not required that you have this read by the time your day for the promo tour starts, hits. So I do want to get to this though in August, simply because of the consideration that they gave for that. Because I don't know if it's how HarperCollins normally does things, because I'm not contacted by publishers a lot, but I needed that that grace. So I appreciate that it was given. So hopefully I will get to this in the month of August. Everything else on my list are e-arcs that I got from NetGalley, either by me searching on NetGalley or requesting from Penguin Teen. So I will insert pictures of the covers so that you can see them. The first is A Wicked, I don't even know what these fucking books are about. Wait. The first is A Wicked Magic by Sasha Lawrence, and what I have done is pull the descriptions from Goodreads so that I can let you know what the books are about. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina meets The Craft when modern witches must save teens stolen by an ancient demon in this YA fantasy thriller debut. Dan and Liz are witches. The Black Book granted them that power. Harnessing that power feels good, especially when everything in their lives makes them feel powerless. During a spell gone wrong, Liz's boyfriend is snatched away by an evil entity and presumed dead. Dan and Liz's friendship dies that night too. How can they practice magic after the darkness that they conjured? And I'm going to stop there. The next book is Goddess in the Machine by Laura Beth Johnson. And the description synopsis of that starts with when Andra wakes up, she's drowning. Not only that, but she's in a hot, dirty cave. It's the year 3102, and everyone keeps calling her goddess. When Andrea went into a cryonic sleep for a trip across the galaxy, she expected to wake up in 100 years, not 1,000. Worst of all, the rest of the colonists, including her family and friends, are dead. They died centuries ago, and for some reason their descendants think Andrea's a deity. She knows she's nothing special, but she'll play along if it means she can figure out why she was left in stasis and how to get back to Earth. The next is They Wish They Were Us by Jessica Goodman, and this is the one that I'm getting a physical copy. Penguin Teen is sending that to me as well. And this is Gossip Girl meets One of Us is Lying. I have not watched a single episode of Gossip Girl, and I did not read One of Us is Lying. With a dash of The Secret History, which I also haven't read, in this slick, taut murder mystery set against the backdrop of an exclusive prep school on Long Island. In Gold Coast, Long Island, everything from the expensive downtown shops to the manicured beaches to the pressed uniforms of Jill Newman and her friends looks perfect. But as Jill found out 3 years ago, nothing is as it seems. Freshman year, Jill's best friend, the brilliant, dazzling Shayla Arnold, was killed by her boyfriend. After that dark night on the beach, Graham confessed the case was closed and Jill tried to move on. Now it's Jill's senior year, and she's determined to make it her best yet. After all, she's a senior and a player, a member of Gold Coast Prep's exclusive, not so secret society. Senior players have the best parties, highest grades, and the admiration of the entire school. This is going to be Jill's year. She's sure of it. But when Jill starts getting texts proclaiming Graham's innocence, her dreams of the perfect senior year start to crumble. If Graham didn't kill Shayla, who did? Jill vows to find out, but digging deeper could mean putting her friendships and her future in jeopardy. So I haven't read any of the books that this is compared to, so we'll see how I like this, because I'm going in without the thought that this is going to be compared to, in my reviewing of it, compared to those other stories. Next, I have The Kinder Poison by Natalie May. Perfect for fans of Victoria Aveyard and Holly Black. I've never read either of these two authors. This enthralling fantasy adventure follows a teenage girl chosen to be the human sacrifice in a deadly game between three heirs who will do anything for the crown. Zaru has long dreamed of leaving the kingdom of Orcana and having the kinds of adventures she's only ever heard about in stories. But as a lowly whisperer, her power to commune with animals means that her place is serving in the royal stables until the day her magic runs dry. And this totally gave me Wild Thornberry vibes. So, yes. Next, y'all, I got a lot of arcs. Next is We Are Not From Here by Jenny Torres Sanchez, a ripped from the headlines novel of desperation, escape, and survival across the U.S.-Mexico border. Pulja has dreams, Chico has his grief, Pequeña has her pride, and these three teens have one another, but none of them have illusions about the town they've grown up in and the dangers that surround them. Even with the love of family, threat lurks around every corner, and when those threats become all too real, the trio knows they have no choice but to run from their country, from their families, from their beloved home. Crossing from Guatemala through Mexico, they follow the route of La Bestia, the perilous train system that might deliver them to a better life if they are lucky enough to survive the journey. And I wanted to read this because I've never heard of this author before. I don't even know if this is a debut author, but with all of the controversy around the fuckery that was American Dirt when that came out, I'm hoping, and I did not read that, but I'm hoping that this is not that from what I have heard, but that's what piqued my interest about it. Next, I have The 30 Names of Night by Zane Jokudar, and hopefully before August starts, I'm pre-filming this, so hopefully before August starts, I will have finished The Map of Salt and Stars, which is right behind me on my bookcase. And this is his second novel. Okay, and I'm starting in the middle of this description. This is a remarkably moving and lyrical novel following 3 generations of Syrian Americans who are linked by a mysterious species of bird and the truth they carry close to their hearts. 5 years after a suspicious fire killed his ornithologist mother, a closeted Syrian American trans boy sheds his birth name and searches for a new one. Done. Next, I have The Shadow King by Meza Mengiste or Mengiste. I don't know how to pronounce the author's name, but look at this cover. Look at this cover. A gripping novel set during Mussolini's 1935 invasion of Ethiopia, The Shadow King takes us back to the first real conflict of World War II, casting light on the women soldiers who were left out of the historical record. With the threat of Mussolini's army looming, I'm getting excited. Recently orphaned Harut struggles to adapt to her new life as a maid in Kindane and his wife Aster's household. Kindane is an officer in the Emperor Haile Selassie's army, rushes to mobilize his strongest men before the Italians invade. His initial kindness to Harut shifts into a flinty cruelty when she resists his advances, and Harut finds herself tumbling into a new world of threats and violations, of betrayals and overwhelming rage. World War II in Ethiopia, chick soldiers. Then I have The Water Dancer by Ta-Nehisi Coates, which is going to have no description given to it because the only way that I can best describe this is the most hyped novel, or one of the most hyped novels of 2019 before its release, and the most silent release of 2019. Like, it came out and there was radio silence. So I don't know, I'm not as excited to get to this as I was when it came out, but it's an arc that I haven't read, so it's on my list for ARC August. I also have David Mogo God Hunter. This is already out. I got this as an e-arc last year. I think starting at The Shadow King maybe. We're in 2019 arcs that I haven't read. I've been arc trifling. Nigerian God Punk. A powerful and atmospheric urban fantasy set in Lagos. Since the Orisha War that rained thousands of deities down on the streets of Lagos, David Mogo, demigod, scours Echo's dank underbelly for a living wage as a freelance god hunter. Despite pulling his biggest feat yet by capturing a high god for a renowned Echo wizard, David knows his job's bad luck. He's proven right when the wizard conjures a legion of taboos, feral godling child hybrids, to seize Lagos for himself. To fix his mistake and keep Lagos standing, David teams up with his foster wizard, the High God's twin sister, and a speech-impaired Muslim teenage girl to defeat the wizard. Seriously. Like, then I have The True Queen by Zen Cho, which is his follow-up companion novel to Sorcerer to the Crown. And I don't know if I'm going to get to this because I DNF Sorcerer to the Crown. But part of me is hoping that The True Queen is better, enjoyable for me. Because there are tons of people who enjoy Sorcerer to the Crown. It was not for me. 2 more. I have The Beast's Heart by Leafa Shawcross. Again, gorgeous cover. This is saying it's a sumptuously magical, I love that word, sumptuously magical, brand new take on an old tale, brand new take on a tale as old as time. Read the beast side of the story at long last. I'm neither monster nor man, yet I'm both. I am the beast. The day I was cursed to this wretched existence was the day I was saved. Although it did not feel so at the time. My redemption sprung from contemptible roots. I am not proud of what I did the day my father happened upon my crumbling, isolated chateau. But if loneliness breeds desperation, then I was desperate indeed, and I did what I felt I must. My shameful behavior was unjustly rewarded. My Isabeau, she opened my eyes, my mind, and my heart. She taught me how to be human again, to be human again. And now I might lose her forever. Lose yourself in this gorgeously rich and magical retelling of the Beauty and the Beast that finally lays bare the Beast's heart. If that is not a dramatic description. And then lastly, I have The Lost Queen by Signe Pike. I think that's how you pronounce the name. Compared to Outlander, which is not the way to go with me this year. Holy fuck, I couldn't stand Outlander. And The Mists of Avalon, this thrilling first novel of a debut trilogy, reveals the untold story of Longareth, a forgotten queen of 6th century Scotland, twin sister of the man who inspired the legend of Merlin. I write because I have seen the darkness that will come. Already there are those who seek to tell a new history. In a land of mountains and mist, tradition and superstition, Longareth and her brother Lailoken are raised in the old way of their ancestors. But in Scotland, a new religion is rising, one that brings disruption, bloodshed, and riot. And even as her family faces the burgeoning forces of Christianity, the Anglo-Saxons, bent on colonization, are encroaching from the east. When conflict brings the hero Emrys Pendragon to her father's door, Longareth finds love with one of his warriors. Her deep connection to Melgwyn is forged by enchantment, but she is promised in marriage to Rhydurch, son of a Christian king. As Longareth is catapulted into a world of violence and political intrigue, she must learn to adapt. Together with her brother, a warrior and a druid known to history as Myrddin, Longareth must assume her duty to fight for the preservation of the old way and the survival of her kingdom, or risk the loss of them both forever. So that is everything. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Lucky 13 books for August that I have arcs of that I need to read. I'm not going to get to all of these. It's not possible. I have a job and other things to do in life. So I'm not going to get to all of these, but we will see what I finish August with when I do my wrap up. Are you all participating? Are any of you participating in ARC August this month? This is my first time doing this, like a dedicated month to just reading ARCs. So if you're participating, let me know in the comments below. If you have participated in the past, how did that go for you? Did it boost or make your reading flail? Talk to me. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good weekend, whenever you see this video. Peace out.